My wife and I are smart people. We shouldn't need to deal with this nonsense.
A Lancaster County man says he is dealing with a mess, nonsense as he calls it, after he thought everything was fine filing his tax returns online. It wasn't until he tried to file his tax returns this year that he learned his 2015 paperwork was never filed with the IRS.
And now he doesn't know who to blame or how much money he needs to pay. Fox 43 finds out who was responsible for that filing issue. Jackie DeTore is here now to explain.
Yes, Scott Kramer of Lancaster has filed his tax returns online with H&R Block for years until he went to file this year and something didn't add up. Now he wants answers. So Fox 43 finds out what went wrong.
Can't trust it. Can't believe it.
That's how Scott Kramer of Lancaster now feels about filing his tax returns online. He's one of the more than 131 million people who e-filed last year. Since 2011, he's filed online with H&R Block. When he went to file this year for his wife and himself, he thought it would be easy. Instead, he says it was a headache.
We go to enter the AGI and we get it off our previous return, and it said it didn't match. Let's double check it, it doesn't match.
So he called the IRS. That's when he learned his 2015 tax returns were never filed.
I have my copy here that says, you know, it was completed. The H&R Block website says it's completed. The agents I spoke to through chat and on the phone said it was completed, but the IRS said they didn't get it.
He says he owed the state $11 and was getting a refund from the federal government. The Kramers direct deposit their tax refund each year into a savings account and don't touch it. That's why they never noticed the money wasn't in that account. So Kramer called H&R Block.
It's ridiculous. They want to get into why I didn't notice as opposed to why they didn't do what I paid them to do.
He then went to an actual H&R Block store to get answers. He says it was here at the Fruitville Pike location in Lancaster County. He says he finally got some help. A manager here put him in touch with corporate. An employee there told Kramer he was sent an email last year saying there was an issue with his return. An email he says he never got. So he asked why only one email was sent, not a phone call or letter to let him know.
They said that there are so many of these that they can't call everybody.
Kramer says he paid about $70 in total to file online with H&R Block. He wants the company to satisfy its end of the bargain.
Part of the deal with when you sign on with them is they're going to represent you if something's wrong. They're going to do something if something's wrong with your return. Well, they didn't.
We reached out to H&R Block and got this response. Quote, H&R Block takes this matter seriously. We worked directly with the client to resolve this issue. We offered to cover any potential penalties and interest due to the late filing and refunded prior year filing fees. In addition, we have offered complimentary filing for next year. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. End quote. Kramer told us he won't file with H&R Block again and instead will do it all by hand himself.
My wife and I are smart people. We shouldn't need to deal with this nonsense.
Now, so far, Kramer says he hasn't heard from the state to see how much he will owe, since the state never received his return last year. The state told us, though, he could owe 25% of the amount due as a penalty and an additional 4% for interest. In total, that turns his $11 payment into $14.30. The state does say, though, if the taxpayer can prove they have the documents filed by the due date, that fee could be waived. Now, Kramer doesn't think he'll get penalized by the IRS because he was getting a refund and didn't owe any money. Still, the feds say you can always double check to make sure the IRS has all of your correct documentation. Whether you file online or yourself with a tax preparer, the software you use will usually send you a confirmation. And you can double check that by going to Where's My Refund tool 24 hours after filing, and you can find that link on our website. And I just spoke to Mr. Kramer today and we were chatting, and he says, you know, I'm glad it was finally sorted out after I spoke with Fox 43, and he's just, it's a headache for him. Filing your taxes.
Nonsense, I believe,
nonsense,
is the word he
yeah.
used, yeah.
Filing your taxes, not fun to begin with,
Yeah.
and then to have to deal with all this.
And doing it online is to simplify the entire process until there's a snafu.
And 131 million Americans do file online. 53 million of them file themselves online. So double checking your work, probably a good idea.
Yep.
Now, if you're a victim of a scam or you have a consumer story you think I should cover, let me know. Send me a message on Facebook or shoot me an email at fox43findout@fox43.com.
All right. Thanks, Alan.